Hello everyone, ¿Cómo está? This is Steven Uresco of Restaurant Adventures with Steve Uri. For today's restaurant adventure, I will be taking you to a Filipino restaurant called KUYA Henry's RESTOBAR, located over in Lake Worth, Florida. KUYA Henry's RESTOBAR is a small, unassuming mom-and-pop type bistro and Filipino market, located on Lake Avenue in Lake Worth. It reportedly had great food and great service. And since the place was recommended to me by a Filipino friend, I decided to give it a try. I was not disappointed. I really loved the tropical decor. The walls were covered in bamboo matting as if one was in a Filipino hut called a kubo. To add to the rustic effect, the ceiling panels were painted to look like thatched bamboo leaves. And all around there were reminders of the Philippines. There were flags and maps and a large photograph in dedication to Jose Rizal, the great Philippine national hero and activist who lived during the later period of Spanish rule. Another thing that made the place interesting was that on their TVs they showed Filipino telenovelas. They also showed music videos from the Philippines. I was enthralled by these first-time viewings as they came complete with English subtitles. I then examined the menu. The variety of their offerings was impressive. Such mouth-watering delicacies. I had trouble deciding what to get. Being a relative novice to Filipino cuisine, I wanted to try everything. They even had 4 kinds of Filipino beer. After ordering my first beer, a San Miguel Negra, which was a dark and malty lager, I dove into the first of my appetizers. I got the usual lumpia egg rolls stuffed with ground pork. These came with a red, sweet, and spicy sauce to flavor the lumpias. The filling was moist and delicious, while the crust was light and crispy. My second appetizer was a Toque baboi. This was a dish consisting of crispy pig's ears and fried tofu. It was a first-time try for me, and I really enjoyed this. It came with a side sauce that added to the flavor of the dish. By then I was working on my second beer, the legendary lager of the Philippines, Red Horse. It is slightly sweet with a deep, rich color. It is reputed to have a higher than normal alcohol content. Shortly after, my soup course arrived. This was the sinigang na pompano, a tiny and savory stew made with a whole pompano fish and lots of Asian vegetables, like Chinese long beans and bok choy. I love these types of Filipino soups. I find the tanginess to be refreshing and addicting, and the pompano fish was tender and full of flavor. This came with a big bowl of aromatic rice. Another first-time try was the Tortang Talong. It was a delicious combination of grilled eggplant cooked with egg. The eggplant was soft and tender, while the egg gave it a unique and pleasant flavor. While waiting for my main course, I ordered my third beer, a San Miguel Light, while I was being entertained by the Filipino telenovelas and music videos. With all the sumptuous and authentic food in my belly and a cold Filipino beer by my side, I reflected upon the atmosphere created by the decor and the Filipino TV shows. Here, I felt very comfortable and very much at home. After a while, my expected course arrived. My favorite Filipino dish, the pork Sea Sig. It came to my table sizzling hot and topped with a raw egg that was slowly cooking upon a generous mound of chopped and crispy pig's ears, pork belly, and pork liver. The meat mix was studded with slices of red chili peppers and scallions. No, seriously, this is my favorite Filipino dish, and it met all of my expectations. It was savory and spicy, and I couldn't stop eating it. By then, I was surprised that I still had an appetite, but I had to have something sweet. So I ended my meal with a Filipino dessert extravaganza called halo halo. I first learned of this Filipino specialty while watching an episode of Parts Unknown with Anthony Bourdain. The halo halo is a kind of sundae of ice cream, shaved ice, evaporated milk, and loaded with candied fruits, jelly candies, and garnished with a slice of Filipino flan. It was refreshing and went perfectly well with the hot day that was broiling the streets outside. I have to admit, I live for these types of culinary adventures. That was what inspired me to start my blog in the first place. My mission was to sample a wide variety of national cuisines while staying right here in South Florida. By experiencing the food, I hope to learn something of the cultures and nations that produce these unique recipes. Between the decor, the atmosphere, and the pleasant and friendly service, along with the fabulously authentic food, I left KUYA Henry's Restobar feeling that this was one of my best ever restaurant adventures. I already missed the place. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this week's restaurant adventure. Thank you for tuning in. This is Steven Uresco of Restaurant Adventures with Steve Uri, signing off for now. Until next time, Tagay.